times as you like. You can flow it breath to movement. One movement, one breath. And when you're ready, walk your hands back to your feet. Toe heel the feet out to the width of the mat, toes out, heels in for frog squat, malasana. Sit your hips down in between the calves. Lengthen your tailbone down as you create a polarity from your glutes to your head. Use the pelvic floor to pull up, the navel in, then wrap the ribs to lift up, getting more space in the torso. Elbows press into the knees press into the elbows. You have an option here to play with a flying frog. Squeeze the knees into the elbows. Slowly place the palms to the ground, shoulder width distance, and hinge forwards, maybe picking one or both feet up off the ground. The toes will flex out to the side. Again, the navel's drawn in for support. Releasing when you're ready, back to a frog squat, malasana. Exhale to a forward fold. Again, parallel the feet, bringing the big toes in to touch one more time. Pull the hamstrings up to the glutes. Inhale, halfway lift. Shoulders pull back. Glutes are on. Exhale, fold. Walk your hands away. Bring your knees down to the ground. Knees and feet together for a toe squat. Sweep underneath the feet with your pointer fingers to get an even stretch. If you need some support, you can place a block under your glutes on top of the heels or a block underneath the knees. Please try this if it feels uncomfortable at all. Hands either to heart or hands on the thighs. If you can, bring the skull on top of the hips. And then again, use the pelvic floor to pull up to support, navel into the spine. Finding your breath here. Observe the sensations. Just simply notice. You can be here for 10 to 30 seconds, even to a minute. And then when you're ready, place the palms down, untuck the toes. Keep the feet, the heels, the knees together. Sit back onto the heels so the heels stay in the center for ankle stretch. You can either place the palms on the thighs, hands on blocks beside, hands on the ground next to the feet, fingers point forwards. You have an option to squeeze the knees together, gently lift the knees towards the ceiling. And then for the full expression, the hands may come up on top of the knees. The chest is lifted. The ankles again stay into the center. Again, find your breath. Find the lift through the internal body, pulling it up. Again, holding this for as long as you like, 10, 30 seconds, maybe a minute. When you're ready, release and come to a tabletop position, palms beneath the shoulders, knees beneath the hips. Move through cow pose as you lift the chest, lift the sitting bones, gently pull the shoulder heads back as you open the collarbones. And exhale into a cat pose as you dome the spine, wrap the bottom ribs up to the back ribs, the navel pulls up. Flow through this breath to movement. Inhale for cow. Exhale for cat. Take this as many times as you like. Inhale, cow pose, spinal extension. Exhale, cat pose, spinal flexion, navel is in. Then when you're ready, come to a neutral spine. The toes are tucked, walk the hands forward a few inches. Exhale, downward dog, press the thigh bones back, hips high. Inhale, right leg high to the ceiling. Exhale, knee to nose, step through low lunge. Pivot through to the left and parallel or pigeon toe your feet for Prasarita Padottanasana. Slowly the torso comes down in between the thighs, wide legs standing, straddle bend. The hands come to a shoulder width distance, back behind the elbows. Pull the hamstrings up and press them forwards. The inner thighs lift, the knees are firm. Bend the left knee, turn the left toes out, move into Skandasana. It's like a half frog. The glutes come towards the heel. And then slowly bring yourself back to the center. And again the same thing, the opposite leg, turn the right knee out, right toes out, glute towards the calf. Hands can be on the ground, and then again use the glutes to come back to the center. You can take this a few times, a couple of other options. Maybe some arm variations. The top arm can lift, the bottom arm can reach in front of the shin. You can take this side to side. So the way that you are bending, the way that you are lunging, the toes turn out, the other leg pulls in towards the hip socket. Toes can flex and pick up off the ground for a little more challenge. And then another option, you can bring your hands to your heart center, again like a half frog. Use the internal body to lift up. And then maybe pressing all the way through without using the hands to the opposite side. So a few different options for you to try. And slowly press into the feet, bring the body up, coming into a horse pose. Toes turn out, the inner arch pull up, the knees pull back so the thighs roll back and down. Inhale for goddess pose, the arms lift towards the ceiling. Pelvic floor pulls up. And exhale, hands to heart, straighten your legs, bring the feet back together. Namaste to here. Namaste.